Welcome back to Commodity Classic in Nashville, Tennessee. AgriTalk Online. We're joined now by Paul Taylor, Illinois Corn Growers Association Vice President, and Gary Schnitkey, Professor of Farm Management at the University of Illinois. Paul, I want to start with you. Everyone here at Commodity Classic talking about the need for crop insurance. Got to have a strong program. Is that the feeling of Illinois corn growers as well?
Sure. We've got a number of important policy issues. Farm bill activity is one of the ones that's on the front burner, if you will. We made some good strides last year in changing a little bit how that was going to be redirected from the apparently fiscal problems that Washington has and direct payments. And so the proposal that was developed, it's come forward, it's been an NCGA policy, which Illinois helped drive that. In fact, Gary had done some of the original research on that, is to build on top of the crop insurance. So we think that an effective crop insurance program is the base of what we think is a good farm program going forward.
Bring in Gary Schnitkey, Professor of Farm Management at the University of Illinois. Let's talk about the Illinois Corn Checkoff sponsored crop insurance option.
Yeah, this year producers have a new option, the trend-adjusted APH yield endorsement. And again, Illinois Corn and Illinois Corn Checkoff funded this effort. But it's a way that producers can increase their APH and bring those guarantees closer to what they expect. And that's been a problem for corn producers because of the trends in corn. So this allows producers to get that up there, and it will save them money as well.
Tell us a little bit more how it works.
Well, each county in the pilot area, which is 12 states, has a trend adjustment, which is about 2 bushels for corn. So each year your yield goes back. We add 2 bushels times the number of years back. For corn producers in Illinois and Missouri, it'll be about a 10 bushel addition to their APH yield. So their historical yield, if it was 160, the new trend adjustment will be 170.
And what kind of acceptance? What are you hearing from farmers about?
We hear very good acceptance. I can't think of a situation where a farmer wouldn't take it. If a farmer can find one, let me know, because I would like to know that situation. But I think we'll see most farmers take the trend-adjusted APH yield.
Paul, your thoughts on it?
Well, I think it's a good example of how Illinois Corn has been thoughtful to what the grassroots has told us, and that is, we're not thinking we're getting the best fair shake, if you will, in crop insurance. And there's many people, particularly in the stable yield areas of central Illinois, that have had some real legitimate concerns about the indemnities when there's crop losses, of the inability to recapture appropriate amounts.
Yeah, we've heard for years, there are holes, there are problems, there are areas of adjustment needed for crop insurance. Those have been kind of made gradually along the way. This is another key step.
Absolutely. We've understood that the charge is for this to be a balanced program, if you will. The dollar premiums going in, dollar payment coming out. Geographically, there's been some diversity where that has not been achieved. Crop-wise, the same kind of thing. And we're not so much focused on the areas that we think there's inequality. We're concerned about where we think it's unequal for us as Illinois producers.
What are the other issues most concerning Illinois corn growers right now?
Well, I think two. One is ethanol conversations, and the second one is we just continue to try to work on infrastructure development. Locks and dams, we've talked about it for years, but we're just, especially with this Congress, we've taken some initiatives where the shippers, participants in the marketplace have agreed and come up with a plan, and it's been some resistance because of the part of the direction in Congress that says, we didn't come here to do taxes. We didn't come here for new taxes, even though we understand that an expanded fuel tax for the barges, which the shippers and the barge operators have agreed to, is necessary to make these infrastructure updates.
I've heard some talk here that because of how hard it is to get Congress to move on infrastructure improvements and the need we all know to make those improvements, could agriculture start maybe look at doing that on its own, kind of a private movement, whether it's the corn growers or other groups say, hey, we're going to take it upon ourselves to make these improvements?
Well, I'm not sure that the corn growers has the financial wherewithal.
Just as an example.
Absolutely. There's no question. And we're getting some feedback from that, from some in Congress, in the transportation side specifically, that maybe it's time to review some public-private partnerships in some of these things. And in fact, many of us have had a chance to visit the progress of the new Panama Canal locks. And there's a situation where it's taken on a national priority. There's been a change in the way that was done. And gosh, they're able to get to work and get some things done. And we just need that to happen in the Midwest.
That would be nice to have happen here. You're right. Before I let you go, what do you think about what you're seeing and hearing as far as corn acres in Illinois this year?
Well, you know, northern Illinois is the area that I'm from tends to be a strong corn area. We were pretty fortunate that we had good rains in the late part of the season last year. We took a little bit of hit with corn-on-corn yields, but there's still a lot of fellows that really like to raise corn, and there was a lot of fall work done, good fertility programs were enacted and able to get those on. Not a lot of fall nitrogen up in that area, but tillage is ready, and I think farmers are ready to roll and would like to raise a big crop.
Good to see you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gary.
Thanks for having us.
All right, that's Paul Taylor, Illinois Corn Growers Association Vice President, and Gary Schnitkey, Professor of Farm Management at the University of Illinois. Stay with us. More to come from Commodity Classic here on AgriTalk Online.